So I've just finished off my treatment and I thought I'll come on. So I'm going to invite some people, but it's going to take me a bit longer. I really pray that my phone is fixed. It's my own fault. Okay. I'll put it on here if you want to come on. I'll put the link on River Yamuna. It's on there. Also going to be putting it on Devotional Love. Okay. I'm going to put the link on there as well. Oh, it's already on there. Oh no, that's from before. That's from before. So it's on there as well. And also finally just on River Core. I have 3 profiles, so I just might as well do them all. Okay. Right, so it's on 3 of my profiles, so I should be actually coming up. Okay. So my link's on there, but I'm not on there, and I don't know why. Actually, oh, hey, hi, Shama. David, it's Balaram. So I'm just trying to, so I'm on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and I don't know why I'm not on. Oh, but you've got me anyway, so I'm just going to invite some people. Oh, and Shama's shared it. I don't know why I'm not coming up. Why? So I won't be able to see actually who's on and who's not. Okay, let's just try something. Okay. I'm just going to try and use another profile. Why am I making it harder for myself? It's because my phone has just decided not to work anymore. Okay, so I'm on Devotional Love. Okay, I'll just see. At least I can see who's here. Okay. Hey, Andromeda. I checked out Mina's profile. That's not her profile. No. And she definitely wouldn't want us on there anyway. Okay, I'm just going to share it with some. Oh, I think you did what I did. I'm sorry, Shama. Okay. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadaha, Shri Adi Gora Bhaktavrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. So I've just finished. It's not been that long, about half an hour, 20 minutes maybe. Hare Krishna, Krishna. It kind of makes you feel a bit drained, but I'm all right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So when I have my treatment, it kind of puts me back in my head a little bit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I don't know who's watching, because okay, I don't know. Let's see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama. I'm sharing it to my other profile. Rama Rama. Please be there, please, please. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. It's not doing it. I can't think. I'm just doing things. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's funny that Maharaj said that thing about riding about. It's exactly what I did. Because our parents didn't teach us anything. I got on my bike without stabilizers and just started riding it everywhere. Don't know how I did that. I must have done it before, obviously. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And also, about giving devotees money. Yeah, be careful, because I have so many devotees. I got caught one time and I'm never going to do it again. Sunny Ram is a big one as well. Be careful with him. He tried to bribe me the other day to listen to Maharaj. So yeah, and this new one, Nirmal, and I blocked him because he said he wants a visa to come to England, and he's got people here from Vrindavan. He's from Vrindavan in England, so he wants to come to England. So I'm just blocking. Stop wasting my time. I'm blocking anybody who asks me for a visa, because I was caught by this lady once who actually started listening to Maharaj a lot, and she started telling me these sob stories, and I believed her, but they kind of didn't really make sense. And when I gave her the money, she never came back. So, and I kind of know Lalita's so right in what she was saying. The games of these people and what they play and how they play these games, and it's getting really easy to see them, and they're not going to stay. But one's compassion is much bigger than before, because of hearing from Maharaj, because of being the anxieties and stresses and material emotions being drowned out by this supreme potency. It just drowns it out, because all I've done is listen and listen and listen and do bits of service that I like to do. But predominantly one has been listening. Hey, back to Tom. That's a heart, isn't it? Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't come on when you sent me the link. I just had a nurse come in, and that went on for a while. But I haven't really watched all of Maharaj's class. I'll do that at some point. But you can kind of trick these people. That's what I did with Sunny Ram. You can have the greatest wealth, and you can stay where you are, and you can have the greatest wealth, but he's just adamant. He doesn't listen, and he's been around now for 4 or 5 years. Sunny Ram has, and he's not still listening. He's just playing about like a little boy, because he's been going into all the different groups that we have, but I never really see him in Maharaj's class. So he's a big one, and I persuaded him to stay, because the greatest wealth will be Krishna. The more you get to know Krishna, he will always help you. If I give you money, you will always ask for money, when the greatest wealth is Krishna and you want to know Krishna. So be careful with these people. And you can kind of feel the ones, who are really sincere, and how they, how since they've been here, they've changed because of the mercy of our guru. And they've changed and they've evolved, they've transformed. Yes, the real transformers. So they have, myself included, and you can see the ones that are much more, or just sincere, because from the words that they use and share, that they are in it for the whole shebang, getting closer and closer to Krishna, especially with it being our ultimate goal and our greatest wealth, our greatest employment, with the greatest benefits, and the greatest benefits for our eternal life. And it works. It's working. It works. It's been working. It is working. It keeps working, as long as we follow the process. If we fight with the process, that, people need to understand, the Lord came down. Lord Caitanya came down and lived this process to show us how to attain him. Fighting with that, you're just cutting your nose off to spite your face and others at the same time. This process has worked for myself, for Lalita, for all the other devotees. And I can say people like say, for instance, Ranga, for instance, he's not listening. He's not listening, and he's not able to listen. And I don't think so, because I'm with him. I see him every week. I don't think he's too weak to listen, because he sits in front of his screen every day and watches YouTube all day, and YouTube and Netflix, and he flicks from one to the other, and then he reads novels. That's Ranga's life. And he cannot, he's in this stuck place, because he was one of the poster children, meaning that he awoke. Narayan, Biswas, I'm sure I know you. You haven't been for a while. So he lies to me. He says he's watching Maharaj, and I help him as much as I can. And he just don't want to listen to Maharaj, and it's because he's not listening, and it's pride, and it's material pride. And you guys can be all nicey to him. I need some help with him. Because he needs to hear the truth, because he's going to die. Well, Maharaj says he's saved. I don't know about that. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I don't know, but he has the energy to sit there all day and listen to all of this, material stuff on YouTube. I don't know. Yes, I do know. I see him do it. But he can't listen to Maharaj. Whereas Maharaj, when we listen to the potency, the supreme potency of God, it showers us, and it drowns out all those things that are not conducive to our relationship with our spiritual, divine, eternal Father. And because we listen, and we have to repeatedly listen to Srila Gaura Haridas, because we've repeatedly been doing this. We've repeatedly been hearing, and have been doing, and so, to whatever degree, I don't know, have been doing all of these material things, and it's because we've been repeated again and again and again, and or watching, by meaning who we've been associating with, and it's repeatedly associated with. So we need to hear the message again and again and again, because the Lord knows our heart. He knows where we are. He knows that we need to hear this again and again. And when we fall into illusion at times, and it can happen, it happens, Maharaj makes it available, so we're pulled out again. It's like, you're stuck in a pit, a temporary pit, and you're pulled out. You're pulled out by the parampara, the absolute truth that emanates all the way from the Lord, through the parampara to Srila Gaura Haridas, and then to us as we listen again and again, and we repeatedly fall, repeatedly hear, repeatedly lifted out. So yeah, when you watch Ranga, hopefully I'm usually there, but he can do it himself. When I'm there, he does it. He's on. And he can't remember what he says. I don't know. That's okay, I suppose. But anyway, yes, Netflix flipper, absolutely Netflix. And I'm not saying he can't watch, but he lies. He's there all day doing it, and then complains about his health. If we keep listening to the word of God, and we transcend all of those things that happen, and again, and it's repeatedly hearing this message and repeatedly transcending, our bodily troubles again and again. Back to saying, if Gora Haridas says he is saved, then he is saved. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough, but he's saying things that are not conclusive. He's not saying conclusive things, and we need anybody who watches him to. He won't listen to me. He just wants me to cook him some food and make him a drink, things like that, but nothing. He won't do anything else. And so to be conclusive, like I called him the other day. I said, there's loads of people who have commented on your class. You really need to go and, make some comments and respond. No, doesn't want to do that. Anyway, yeah. In fact, Maharaj doesn't want me to hang around with him because he's contaminating. So I have to be careful, really careful. Okay, Hare Krishna. So yeah, I just want some support with him, so others can speak conclusive truth and say, Ranga, no, that's not conclusive. His last class was all right, actually. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. I know from my own health how beneficial it is into hearing. I still have to go through it, no matter what it is. And there are many things going off right now. And without the support, without being showered, upon every day, constantly, really, with absolute truth, I'll drown in this illusion. I'll be drowned because there'll be nothing to pull me out. The illusion weighs heavy, really heavy, if we do not have the shelter of the parampara through Maharaj. Real shelter. And it cleans our eyes. Because we watch as children, and we take things in. We don't process most of them. Once we're purified more and more and more, our eyes are cleaned, and we see what God wants to show us. We see Him, and it's so much. It's just uplifting instead of drowning and complaining. Okay, I'm complaining in this illusion when all you have to do is listen and be lifted. Our Sangha has been lifted. The devotees are lifted. Many of them have been transformed by this vibration. And it's because we keep hearing and hearing and hearing. And just, automatically Lalita can understand English and speak English, much more than before. So can Jan, Lalita Madhava, is speaking in English as well, and it will get better and better and better. We are being lifted out of our anchors that hold us in the illusion. They've been broken. Whilst we hear the bona fide spiritual master will extinguish our attachments. I can't tell you how it's done. It just happens. We have our mind on the illusion, and Maharaj has been breaking that more and more and more. So our unique personality can shine through. And that is what we want. Our unique personality that is in relationship with the Lord. That is real. That is conclusive. And that is how it works. David is saying, Balaram, sorry. So is this why I'm being ostracized here? Because I mentioned I was collecting money to have my car repaired. I don't know. I didn't watch Maharaja's class and all of it. So I'm not really sure. When I first came back to live classes, I was simply catching him up on my current state of mind, not $1 have I ever begged from this assembly? Or is it that I'm queer this time round? You reckon? I don't think it's actually, it's not any of them, Balaram. It's really not. I don't know if you're just saying that you haven't asked, the money, people for money. And I will say this always, Hare Krishna to you, Lalita Madhava. I hope you're okay. And we're not here to help people with their material life. We're really not, because if we help people more and more with their material life, I haven't ostracized you, Balaram, so I don't really know. And you being, gay has got nothing to do with you being ostracized. It's got nothing to do with that. That's people's own problems, because you being gay, it's in your external body. It's in your emotional body. Your real self is just what it is. Your real self is not gay or transgender or anything else. It's just, programming with just where you are right now. And so, no. And then if people are ostracizing you for being gay, then they need to look at themselves. They need to look at, how purified are they? How ignorant is that? They don't know. They don't know self-realization. They definitely don't know the illusion from absolute truth. They don't know. I don't know who's been ostracizing you, but I will say there's no point asking devotees for money to help you with material things. There's just no point in doing that. And I'm always getting people, always young guys, and I can catch them out now asking me for a visa usually, or a wife, but a visa to come here. That's one of my pet hates. It really is, because this country is quite difficult in this country, actually. Not easy. It's really not. And people are so blinded by the West. The West is being destroyed. It's been ripped apart, actually. And people want to come here from the West, from India, from the East. No, stay where you are, because you will not have to go through all the stuff you have to go through to live here. Just listen to Maharaj. Listen to the vibration. Oh, I don't understand. How did Lalita's English get better? How did Lalita Madhava's English get better? How did that happen? It's because they were it was because they were listening and listening and listening, and they got their gift. Their English improved, and they were able to do these. I mean, I was from the beginning was like, Lalita used to speak English slang. It was really funny, actually. I'm like, how does she know those things? But anyway, no, I'm not here to get you a visa. I'm not here to get you a wife, and I'm not here to get you a job. And I'm definitely not an English teacher. Why would I do that when we have these examples of these great devotees? Just by listening, their English has improved, and it's the vibration. If we understand the words or not. I don't know if that's enough for you, Balaram. Maybe say some more if you want me to respond some more. Because I don't think people are ostracizing you. I haven't felt that, actually. And Hare Krishna to you, Nirmal. I think that's how you say it. Nirmal Jat. If you understand, to be really straight and conclusive, to feel the vibration, because we feel things. We feel things. Even the words we speak are a vibration. And it's a vibration. That vibration, if you understand it or not, will transform you. So you can understand it. So listening to the vibration of the Lord, really, truly, where it's much clearer than before, because you've been cleared out of blocks that are anchors and attachments to this illusion. This illusion isn't real, but it's temporary. It's not real. It seems real, but it's not. All of our attachments need to be cut down. If you understand English or not, if you keep listening to the vibration, it will just transform you. And you'll be like, oh God, I'm understanding that. What did they say? I don't know where it says it in the scriptures. I think it's in the Bhagavad Gita. Maybe Tom will know. Krishna will give you what you need to come to him. and he'll take away what disturbs, which is an obstacle to come to him. And he's been doing that. He's been doing that and doing that. I have to take this call. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Marriage would be very upset with me, but it's something that I need to sort out. Living in this temporary world. So yeah, I have people calling me up, soldiers. They want me to teach them English. What's the best thing that I can do? Send them here to listen to Maharaj, so they can receive the potency, and actually their English will improve. But they don't want to know that because they're in their minds and they're stuck in that relation. You go to school and you learn like that. They don't know, they always say Hare Krishna, Shri Jai Krishna, or Radhe Radhe, da, da, da. They don't have no relationship with Krishna. They have no idea. They're so stuck in their heads that it's such a block. But even if they come here, I can't keep coming, but they want to talk to me, so they can hear my English and they can learn that way. I'm not going to do that. The best way you can learn English is to listen to Krishna, because if people want to learn English to understand the scriptures, it's in that language, and they can learn it here. If there's an obstacle, it will be given to you. Sorry, it'll be taken away, and if you need something, it'll be given to you. Now, this has been my experience with my journey on this path, walking on this eternal path with Srila Gaura Haridas. Balaram is saying, amazing grace place indeed. And it really is. I can't begin to tell you how much it has evolved, how much Krishna is there, in his full, the main attraction, completely attractive, because he gives us so much. He gives us so much, but we have a relationship with him. If you just want to come here and you're just cutting off your nose to spite your face, you're in the greatest place. As Balaram just said, amazing grace place. The grace that comes from the Lord, the mercy, is just so graceful, and it just showers us. And we are literally protected from all the other stuff, the fear and the, what else? The fear mainly, the material emotions, but the fear, because here it's a halfway house, because we change, we transform just by hearing the vibration. If we understand the words or not, that will come in time. Lalita is a great example for that, because her English is improved so much. She understands not everything, but she understands so much more. Only nobody's taught her. No person, human being. The potency, the vibration, that vibration of the words of God, the vibration of the words has evolved, has transformed her. So she's been given what she needs to be a great preacher, a great. Hey Mary, I was thinking about you because you haven't been around. Are you still working? Anyway, so you can let me know. We don't have to pay anybody to teach us. We don't have to go anywhere. All we need to do is come to the amazing grace place, and whatever we have inside. So Krishna knows more than we do, and sometimes we can see it in others when they cannot see it. If they want to believe you, it's up to them, but that just shows their trust in devotees, really, because we are changing and evolving. The only thing that is stopping us is our own bullshit, is our own blocks. I want to do it that way. I like doing it that way. It's not about what we want. Because to surrender to the Lord, that is a journey as well. And we can test that journey. We can test surrender. We can see how it works. To be claimed and be surrendered to the Lord is my greatest shelter through Maharaj, because he's everywhere and has everything, and eyes and legs everywhere, and is everything. Why wouldn't you want to know the greatest of greats, the eternal Lord? Why wouldn't you want that shelter? Why wouldn't you want to be in a relationship with that, the Lord himself, where we have been created from? I don't know if we have, but I think we have always been and always will be, as the Lord has. He will give us what we need only if we lay down our bullshit. Aren't you sick of banging your head against the wall because you've got this pride? I'm going to do it my way. Are you sick of that? Because I am. I'm so fed up. I'm so fed up of that kind of stuff. And Krishna is making it so my material life is very, it's quite difficult, actually. This is my only solace. This is my only rest. This is the only place I really get pacification. This is the only place that uproots those emotions that are still there. Mine's more like my main one is not allowing people to grow in their own way. It's because I'm not a mother. And I'm not a mother, and that's one of my things. Hare Krishna, all dear ones. And but I tell you something, as we begin to, it doesn't matter what's happened before. It doesn't matter what our families have done for us or haven't done for us. It doesn't matter, because one, nobody's dead. Family members will go, nobody's dead. Nobody dies. A spirit soul, their false identity is dead. That false identity. But if we put all of that down, whatever we've learned, whatever we understand, however we function with whatever ideas and concepts we have, if they're not fully conclusive, that is not the vibration that we will get shelter from. Fully conclusive word of Krishna, God, is where we will get that shelter. And if we stay here, we're always on that vibration of conclusive truth. We're always held in that place, in that simple living, higher thinking, because you don't want to do so much here, because it does not give you the juice, the taste, the fun, the relationship that God can give us and gives us and shares with us, shares himself with us. The way Srila Gaurahari explains it to us, it's really simple, because we don't have to study. We don't have to study. If we're gonna study, and if we're gonna use paper or something, I know you see me do it, but I do it for another reason. If we're gonna do those things, we don't have enough patience for when the Lord is gonna give us what we need. Because sometimes we think we need something and we don't. The Lord is gonna give us what we need to attain him even more at a certain time. It might not be soon enough for us. So we're going to use other methods. I think it's all right, but to not rely on them, because the ultimate method is to hear from the bona fide spiritual master. And the thing about it is, he has to be living. because the bona fide spiritual master, yes, we're all holding the Lord. He's in us all, but we just don't have a conscious relationship with him. So he's down there doing whatever he wants, really. Maharaj has been holding the Lord from when he was probably when he was born here, really. But from when he awakened when he was 17, he's holding the Lord. And he's been growing and growing and taking Maharaj all around places, not to understand superficialness, but the deeper realizations of experiences of going to ISKCON, of going to Christianity and going all around. Maharaj is a great example. He has to be a living, breathing Bhagavat who is holding the Lord, who is living the experience of the teachings of Lord Caitanya, who is living them. We need, you look at everybody we talk to, we learn from, we're always looking at them. We look at each other. We look at what we're doing. We need the bona fide. What's so different about the bona fide spiritual master? We need to look at him. We need to speak to him, inquire from him. We need to be able to hear him. We need to be able to be with him. We need to be able to test him. We need to be able to check what he's doing. We need to be able to be his friend. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. It has to be a living Bhagavad. The only way we learn is from somebody else. Even if we go on the internet to research something, it's from something else. So we need the living experience of the bona fide spiritual master, because that is here, that is grounded here, and that is who we listen to. That is where we go. That will emanate to us. We haven't done anything. We've been listening to the vibration from Maharaj, and the Lord has been growing in us. You can't give what you haven't got. Srila Guru Haridas has a very deep, advanced, confidential relationship with the Lord, and that has been emanating to us as we simultaneously have been letting go of the illusion, not relying on the illusion, the concepts, the ideas, that keep you anchored here in this illusion. And Maharaj has been such a great example for that to emanate to us, and the Lord to grow in us, our Bhakti Ladha Bij just growing in us as well. And that's, Srila Prabhupada can't do any of those things, because Prabhupada never purified anyone. Srila Guru Haridas is purifying us so we can receive the full message of the Lord, the full conclusive message of the Lord that's going to transform us. So we are in spirit. So we are in that place, in the spirit, coming from the spirit soul that is eternal, that doesn't have an agenda, that isn't, a boy or a girl or any of those things. It just is. The spirit soul just is. So Nimrod is saying, Lord gave us birth on earth and he has all responsibility of our lives. No, it doesn't work like that. It's our responsibility. We're like our Lord. We're made in his image. He is so responsible for everything. We have to take responsibility. You don't know, Nimrod, if you wanted to come here. If we don't take responsibility for our lives, and we don't know the Lord, we haven't surrendered to the Lord, we're in the shit. Here it's simultaneously happening as we begin to surrender to the Lord, as we see, because he knows us, and he's going to be pushed really hard when we are stubborn in our illusions, because he knows our hearts. He knows how much we want the Lord. He knows our sincerity. He knows all of this. And you have been giving birth here for millions of times, Nimrod. It's not just, you've been doing it again and again and again. And it's because, you're not taking responsibility. You're not going to, well, you have now. You're very fortunate to have met Srila Guru Haridas and the Sangha, because you're going to transform yourself. If you're looking for something else, we will know. We will know your sincerity from your words, your actions as well. We will know that. And this is what this vibration does for us. It takes us out of the illusion, and the only way we can try and have some kind of life, get some kind of justice, and there isn't actually any justice, because we're stuck in the illusion instead of coming from the spirit soul, who's part and parcel of the Lord. And we have that bond and that link, and we have that spiritual life, spiritual self, spiritual knowing, spiritual seeing, spiritual hearing, spiritual clearing. And then we can really hear and see all of these things. And you can't expect the Lord to take responsibility of that. We are made in him. We take responsibility for our stuff. We take responsibility for playing in this world again and again and again, and not taking responsibility. You know, you might have buried your head under the sand. You might, yeah, but you have stuffed so much stuff down there. You just buried your head. That is going to come back to you. What we put out there, Nimrod, what we put out there is going to come back to you. You can't just, and yeah, in a way, you're right. Coming here and listening to the conclusive truth regularly, keeping that momentum going, keeping it going, and not coming now and again, you know, will help. The Lord will take responsibility. You are taking responsibility because you're bringing yourself here to the lotus feet of the bona fide spiritual master, and you will be transformed. You will be transformed by simply hearing. Simply hearing. So you're right, in a way, the Lord, and it's because of Lord Caitanya, and it's not because of Krishna, Nimrod. It's because of Lord Caitanya being the most recent incarnation of Krishna, the original Krishna himself. Because if Krishna was here, chop our heads off. And it's about merciful, merciful, merciful. Lord Caitanya has come here to save all it. Give us a process. Show us a process. Live the process so we can attain the lotus feet and have this eternal relationship with the Lord himself. So you need to ask yourself, Nimrod, what is it? You know, do you really want to have a different life? Do you really want to live in spirit? Do you know what illusion is and what spirit is? Do you know that most people are living an illusionary life? You know, there's a false tree and it's an illusion. It's not even real. We need to transcend that so we can come to the real desire tree where the Lord is residing, and we receive everything we need to have a relationship with the Lord. Everything is a relationship. Things are relationship. You know, music and notes are relationship. We have relationships. Everything is a relationship. Our ultimate relationship is with Lord Caitanya. Who is Krishna? Who is Krishna? But it's Lord Caitanya who's here to go, you know what? I know you've done that, and I know it was horrible, and I know it was terrible, but come to listen to my devotees. Not come to me, him, Krishna, but come to listen to my devotees, because you know why? They have me residing, living in them. The devotees, the real devotees, have God, Krishna living in them. Go to them because you will receive them. Coming to me, you won't. That will not happen because you won't go through purification. We've been playing about in this prison house, the whole shebang, life after life after life. We have to take responsibility. If you want to walk on this path, we must. And all we have to do is listen. That's our responsibility, is to listen and to go through all of those things that we have been putting out there to others, hurting others, causing other people stress, and all of these things. And then what do? We'll just bury it away. We'll walk away from these people and find some new friends, and we'll do the same thing to them, cause them disturbances and all of this stuff. You have to pay, you have to go through purification because you felt away. You felt away and it's stuffed down there. It's going to come up and leave. The more these things come up, David, Balaram, the more they come up, Nimrod, all these things, because it's been, billions and billions of lifetimes. We've been doing this again and again and again, and smacking our head at a dead end or a brick wall or falling into a pit of snakes because, you know, that's where we're focused on. And so, yeah, our responsibility is to hear. And when we go through purification, because you can't do this on your own, and Prabhupada didn't do this. You can't go to Krishna because you won't do it. You may start feeling something and you'll just stop it. I'm not going through that. That's horrible. But on the platform of absolute truth, on this platform of absolute truth, we are held and we can go through the purification. And some people may not have to. Some people may not have to. And I have had to. And It's taken me out of the prison house. You said that yesterday, actually, Balaram. Schoolhouse, prison house, workhouses, or prisons as well. People are stuck at work every day. You know, they're prison houses as well. Anything where people are gathered together and they have to go there every day. Prison house. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. They're bringing the illusion down already. They're bringing it down with all of the stuff that's going off by destroying this illusionary world, and it needs to be destroyed. We have to look deeper and say, the Lord wants it destroyed. The Lord's making it worse for us. Where are you going to keep looking? Are you going to keep looking at the illusion? Are you going to keep doing illusionary things? Aren't you sick of, like I said, banging your head against the wall? We just need to, and here in the Sangha Maharaj, turn our focus not on the illusion, on the only thing that is real. The only thing that is real, and that is God himself. It's the only real thing we have that is emanating through the real bona fide spiritual master. Maharaj is so deep in what he's saying and doing and giving and sharing with us. It is completely to fight with that, especially after now how many years we've been together with Maharaj, nearly some of us 6 years. Just stay, see your life transform, see living in the illusion or living the spirit soul, the real spirit soul that has a unique personality, that is always individual. We always have a relationship with the Lord. That's how we're moving forward with him all the time. And if we keep looking at the illusion, and without Maharaj, the shelter that we get here, without that, people will just keep looking at the illusion. They'll just fall back into the illusion again. It has to be repeated. It has to be said again and again. We must share our individual stories of our advancement and our changes of being under the shelter of a real guru, a real bona fide guru who's doing the job of loads of gurus. Maharaj has held us so much. He's got the Lord so deep within, and I feel so fortunate because of having karma, so much karma, and having to go through a lot of purification. My focus now is on the Lord, on him. I've been patience. Coming here in this halfway house every day, we have patience of the Lord. And we can go through this walk of real eternal life and it has to be whilst we are in this body. We must learn whilst we are in this body, so we know where we're going. We know who's gonna be holding our hand as we leave this body. It takes away the fear. If we live like we would live if we didn't have a body here on this earth, it is so empowering. It is so uplifting. It is like nothing you have ever felt before. And it happens gradually. It just happens gradually. And it becomes like a natural process. And we naturally are changing, just naturally changing in our own time, in our own pace, as much as we will or we won't. I don't know. It's up to the Lord. But it's all naturally happening. Whilst I'm speaking to you about it, this has been all of my experiences. I'm calling out to the Lord to take my focus off this troublesome body. Really calling out. So I'm going to read. Let's just see what you guys are saying. I think I've read most of them. So Shama is saying, Dear Nimrod, thus we also have responsibility for our life that has given to us. Yeah, we have a responsibility to realize why we are here. We have a responsibility to realize, to come out of the illusion and go to the bona fide spiritual master who can do that for us. Because nobody else can do it like this. because there's no Sangha like this. There's no devotees like this. There's no relationship. There's no relationship with devotee and guru like we have with our guru. There isn't. So we have a responsibility to realize what life is, because in the illusion, it's not real life. It's not real life. And you can't breathe. The breath of God gives us real life because of us being united in relationship with the Lord, because the bona fide spiritual master has realized that they are really sincere. They really want out, and they've proved it, that they want the Lord. They've proved it, and that's our responsibility, Nimrod. That's our responsibility. So you're saying to Shama, I said, because I crossed 35 and didn't any progress in my life, like didn't source of income, marriage, nothing. Well, you know what, all of this, I don't really have much income. I'm not married, and coming here, Srila Guru Hari Das has married me to the Lord, Nimrod, and he's given me a job to preach conclusive truth, and my payment is relationship, realizations, revelations of God himself, which is the juice of life, the real juice, wine of life that we drink every day. Even now, drink every day. It's nothing, this, Nimrod, this is nothing that your mind is thinking. This is, the mind is thinking, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from the heart. And you know what? We've been in our minds for so long. We've been living there for so long, again and again and again. Maharaj has done it. He's broken it. He's broken that cycle for many of us because of his deep relationship. My deep trust in his every word, my deep trust in learning to surrender to him and not anybody else, because nobody has shown to me what Maharaj has shown, given all this time, again and again, support, the greatest wealth that we can ever have. Our real source of income is Krishna, because he's the only real thing. Marriage, all of these things, Nimrod, they're all temporary things. They're all temporary things that you're speaking about. And you'll get real relationship. You'll have a real marriage here. You'll have real relationships. You'll have real payment, because you have a real job. And that is to listen to conclusive truth, clear out the illusion, burn those attachments, cut those anchors, whatever it takes to be able to see exactly through the Lord's eyes, see exactly what is happening, see exactly what we have been doing again and again. The end is near. Maybe not for the whole world, but the way we know the world is here. Because the only way now is into spirit and truth. That is a completely different way of living. And that is the only way we can go. The only way, and it's this bona fide spiritual master, Srila Guru Hari Das, who's been proving himself again and again and again, and has many witnesses that can prove who he is, what he does, have been witnesses to seeing what he does, have experienced his pure love upon us, coming from the Lord himself. So Balaram is saying we're totally responsible. That's why we learn surrender. Yeah, because we cannot change ourselves without surrendering. We cannot change. We cannot transform without the mercy, the grace of this place, where the bona fide spiritual master is bringing the center of our attention, our focus, which is Krishna, God himself, all the time. So yeah, we learn to surrender here. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes, but if you keep watching and keep hearing and watching, you see how others transform. You see how that vibration transforms us. You see how we live in happiness. Even if we are stressed, even if we have bodily stuff. You know what? You know why, Nimrod? It's because we know who we are. we know the science of self-realization. We really know that we are not these illusionary bodies that we spend so much time on, because we are just in association with people who just talk about the body. That's it. So you're saying, yeah, that we surrender. We can only surrender with a real bona fide spiritual master who has a deep relationship with the Lord and is holding the Lord within, is walking that. Wherever he goes, the Lord is there with him. And we have been able to be, what's the right word, Krishna? We have been in that association so much. The Lord has been growing in us. We are carrying the Lord more and more and more. And that, and the more we carry the Lord as we hear from the bona fide spiritual master who has the Lord, because you can't give what you haven't got. We learn to surrender to that more and more. And as we hear, we don't know how we're going to do it. We surrender to the shelter of conclusive truth. We walk upon the foundation of absolute truth. And it works. And our surrender happens naturally as we keep hearing. This is a process that we just keep following. My words are my experience, the experience of others as well, but it's different for all of us. So you're saying that we learn to surrender to Para-Atma, yeah, by taking association with a pure devotee in whom the Holy Spirit is living. Exactly. Boom. Exactly there, Balaram. And Andromeda is saying the mind can't even fathom this level of love. No, that's the mind can't even understand this level of love. It doesn't even realize it exists. And we have to come away from the clutches of the mind. We have to come away from the dungeons. I like to call them dungeons, because we can live a concept that keeps you in a dungeon, and you may die. You may fight for it and want to die for a lie. The mind is full of lies. It cannot understand absolute truth. Absolute truth in the mind is like a needle in the haystack. It's only the bona fide spiritual master who can rise us out of that. And we're holding the hand of the needle. We're going through the eye of the needle with the Lord is taking us through. Anybody? Yeah. I think that's it. Have I missed anyone? Back to Tom. I'm just looking on here. We have to really, and it's all about truth. If Maharaj didn't speak the truth, we wouldn't, as devotees, wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be where we are, risen out of, the illusion. Actually being able to receive pure bhakti, this pure love, that just allows us to be empowered, inspired, uplifted, compassionate, loving, pure loving beings that not only receive it for themselves, they want to share it with others, because you can't just keep it for yourself. It doesn't work like that. We receive and we give. We receive and we give. The more we give, the more we receive. And that's how it works. It just works. And it's not material thinking. It's not material way of life. It's not material, spiritual. The meaning, what am I trying to say? It's just different. Everything that we've been taught by teachers and people that are supposed to be, elevated and know things, it's not real. It's not true. It doesn't work like that, because their minds are just little contaminated minds, conditioned minds. We are in the Lord's mind here. The Lord's mind, there is no barriers. There is no end. There is no beginning. It goes on, and anything goes. In this illusionary world, it's this way. You do it that way, and this is what happens. Because the illusion, the false ego is scared. It needs to know what it's going to do. It needs to have some kind of feeling of upliftment. It wants to feel some pride and some joy and all of these things, but they're all built upon the illusion. And if you're going to keep living the illusion, you have to take responsibility for living that illusion again and again. So yes, it is going to get worse. So hold on tight to the lotus feet of Srila Gaurahari. That's because you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And you will see things and hear things and realize things. And you'll be, just by listening. Lita said it this morning, you don't always have to ask questions. The answer comes because somebody else might say it as you listen. We don't always have to keep talking. We just keep listening to the vibration of Maharaj, and not to miss anything. And yeah, it's really amazing. It's God consciousness. We're made from the same consciousness as God. It's that consciousness, not this illusionary consciousness. On that, I'm going to go. I didn't read it. I'm going to go. Thank you to Shama. Thank you. I was going to just say, I'm going to say one more thing about if we're not truthful and we think everybody is great, that's never going to help them. It's never going to help them. If we don't point out and show and share and tell them their inconclusiveness, that will pull them out of the illusion. If we think everybody's all right and they're all doing this, and you need to know which way to go. You need to know the real map. You need to know which car you're going to get into to ride, to drive upon that map. And it's the map of conclusive truth, conclusive absolute truth that will always give us real life, real relationship, real self, unique self. And we will just keep growing and growing in our eternal relationship. Here in the illusion, we're just stuck in a rut. Once we're out, it's broken and we're out, we're freed. We're just going to be like Narada Munis, flying around all over the place, doing whatever the Lord wants us to do. But here we're just stuck in this rut where we're just thinking all the time. And there's no way out except through the real bona fide spiritual master who is holding the Lord in such confidential relationship. He'll give it to anyone who comes to sit at his lotus feet. And we are lifted with that as well and given real life. All of this stuff. Watch me from a few years ago. I couldn't speak like this. I didn't have confidence. I was filled up with, material shit and material hurt and all of that stuff. But it's been purified out. So Nimrod, it's been purified out. I'm a completely different human being. Sometimes I look at myself and think, that person that I used to be, I can't even remember that person. This is my real self. Built by the Lord, but built by the Lord himself through the real, true, bona fide spiritual master who has proved himself to be the bona fide spiritual master. And on that, I'm going to go. Wow. I don't think I stopped really, did I? Just a vibration. Thank you very much to all you guys. And I will try and read later. I think he's doing that thing to me, Tom, what we were speaking about, about me getting rid of my PAs. So I can just do it myself. It's really difficult having these people in the house, because they disrupt, they bring me back into the illusion. I see my mode of goodness is still there. But anyway, thank you very much to Shama, to Balaram Das, to Andromeda, to we had Nimrod, and we had Das, and we had back to Tom. Let's see what else is there. I'm really Jan Lilith Madhava's there. Seeing. Okay. Thank you very much. So if you're gonna, I'm not saying anything else except please watch Shila Gaur Haridas every day live on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Odyssey, and many other social media channels, and streaming from Restream, where you can go on and inquire, or just sit there if you want, and show yourself. Yeah, show yourself. That is a great way to show, because people want to see, they like many people, don't they? It shows the solidarity of our Sangha, headed by Maharaj. It just shows how great, we're there every day at his lotus. We are anyway, but on Restream we can see, people can see, the extent and the level of our loyalty to absolute truth, because there's nothing else to be loyal to except the Lord, who is absolute truth. He will give us everything we want. The words that you read in the Gita, and they read mainly the Gita out there in India, you'll really learn to live that, feel that, because you're experiencing those verses. They're not, you don't even have to read the purports. You're experiencing living those verses. They're coming alive. This is like a movie. It's really like a movie. But this, like I said, it's a movie. There's no paraphernalia. There's no editing. There's no loads of characters. The main attraction is God himself. It's just like a movie, because we're evolving and changing and lifting up into higher consciousness by hearing and hearing. It's the greatest movie out of all the movies that we watch. This is the greatest movie, because we are actually changing and evolving and leaving and growing and so much more. So empowered, such stability, such centering, such grounding, to be able to walk this real, true life, this real path, walking with God, living with God, talking to God, having a relationship with God, laughing with God, all sorts of things. And it's with just me, Radha and Krishna, and you, Radha and Krishna. And it just gets better and better and better. And if it doesn't, if you feel like it doesn't, one, you're in your mind, and two, when you're in your mind, what was the other thing I was going to say, Krishna? Yeah, it's still in the illusion. Or really, you just need to learn something. In order to really let something, Krishna can really let something go in us. We may experience something just so we can realize something deep, so we can learn about ourselves and let go of this illusion. It's all great. It's not good, it's all great. And it's actually bringing about real, authentic, individual personalities, real personalities that are linked to the Lord himself. Honor, humbleness, courage for the Lord. Until you realize you never die, you cannot come from that place. When you do, you will get out your sword, because nobody is going to die. We have the Lord, and we will transcend with the Lord when we leave this body. Maharaj talks about those lines in the arena, doesn't he, quite a lot. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Gaura Hari. Let's get on there. And thank you to all the devotees as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.